We've reached the part of the podcast where we're going to talk about NASCAR. And, I took a little 2-week vacation. I was getting burnt out. Took a little 2-week vacation from talking to Brandon. So how you doing, my man?
Good. I was jamming to that intro music. I like it.
Dude, it is pretty catchy.
Yeah.
Pretty catchy.
You do that on the piano yourself?
You know what?
Touch over here and then like a little bass at the top.
I am the most musically challenged person in the world.
I would say you're challenged with a lot of other things, but we'll just carry on into the picks.
So my question to you is this. I got an alert that said they're trying to get Bubba to drive in Kurt Busch's car.
Bubba is driving. Bubba, it's confirmed. Bubba is moving from the 23 car to the 45 car for the remainder of the year. The only reason behind it, a lot of people don't understand, you have owners' points championships as well, compared to just a driver's championship. The 45 car is in the running for the owners' points championship, but I believe it's due to the fact that they have to have a full-time NASCAR driver in it, not Ty Gibbs. So Ty will slide over to the 23, still get his experience, which I still think Ty will be in the 18 car next year, just a speculation. But that's why you'll see Bubba driving the 45 car.
Now, speaking of Ty Gibbs, I'm looking at top 10 plus 250. Excuse me. Any value on that for a top 10?
I don't think it's bad. I mean, he's ran well. I don't know how he's going to work with the new crew chief in the 23. I don't know if they're switching crew chiefs. I don't know if they're switching crew members. I really don't know what they're doing. But at a place like Darlington, I'm not going to grab somebody like Ty going into this race.
Now, let's talk about who we are betting. I have 3 bets. What is your first bet?
I'm going to start not with the one who I think is going to win the race firsthand, but my second bet is going to be Mr. Ryan Blaney at 20-1. Historically, he has not done well at this track. I think him just barely sneaking into the playoffs like he did was a huge horseshoe. But I do like he's got to make moves. If he doesn't do anything early, he'll be quickly out of the playoffs. He needs the points. Like he needs all that. So if a guy like him can go out and get a win and immediately move him into the second round, he can take a breath and grabbing Blaney at 20-1. I love the odds.
Let's retrack a little bit. What did you think of what happened at the end of the Darlington race?
And at Daytona?
And at Daytona. Did you think they should have stopped it earlier, or do you think they waited too long?
So I want to say I think they waited too long, but I like what NASCAR did. They knew it was the last race until the playoffs. They knew there was drivers out there that had an opportunity to win to get in besides Austin. So I respect NASCAR in trying to finish a race, which they did. I did think it was going to be called. I changed the channel, and then I got an alert they're racing again. I do not blame NASCAR for the little pop-up shower that happened in turn 1 and caused a giant wreck. It's a 2.5-mile track. They just went through turn 1 less than 30 seconds ago, and it sprinkled, and a lot of drivers were pissed, but I don't see how you expect them to notice that. Like, I know they have people sitting around the track, but we all know Florida, it can rain without you even knowing it's raining. Mm-hmm. I was pissed because my boy Elliott was out of it, but
I was pissed because I lost my Haley top 10, dude.
And I had Noah Gragson at 150-1 who had an opportunity to win the race. So it's a double-edged sword, but like NASCAR and their efforts on being able to finish a race going into the playoffs now.
So your first bet was Blaney. My first bet is I'm going Erik Jones top 10 plus 150. Look, 7 races here, 1 win, 3 top 5s, 4 top 10s. So he's finished in the top 10, 4 to 7 races. This is his best track. He's got his only win in his career here. At top, I'm getting plus money on it. I feel I have to take her.
I don't mind that pick at all. I would back you in that. I thought he was running really well at Daytona. Now you're getting to that point to where the guys outside the playoffs have nothing to lose at all. They're just racing for trophies, sponsorship, and contracts. So I know a lot of people look now and they're like, oh, the playoffs, you only got 16 drivers. Well, the guys outside of 16 are fighting to have a job for next year and sponsorship for next year and a new contract extension. Aric Almirola, who announced retirement, said he is coming back for 2 years because Smithfield wanted to pay him double the money just to stay in the car. So it's interesting to see what these guys do. You have to tune into it tonight. It's on USA. I don't know what time it is, but it's the life of a driver. It's a whole new documentary series that's being released tonight. So you guys need to check that out. It's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that you don't realize.
What is your second pick?
My second pick, we'll just have to switch hats on this one.
Oh, God.
I'm going with my boy Chase. I've got the middle finger salute t-shirt. He's going to throw both birds up at everybody. He dominates this track, races well. Kyle Busch dumps him. Chase for the win. Already going into the first round with enough points to clear him for the second round. He's going to set the tone, pull it off at Darlington. He's got an amazing paint scheme that a 13-year-old girl designed who was diagnosed with leukemia. It's a very special weekend. I've got a good feeling. I would love to see that car in victory lane, not only for him, but the girl that designed the car. She's supposed to be at the track with him. You hear these stories a lot where somebody battling something, the experience, the win. I'm going with my boy Chase. The number 9 will be in victory lane come around midnight Sunday night.
My next pick.
Maybe be electric over that. Come on.
My next pick. And that was a great delivery, dude. You know, the delivery.
I had the hat waiting here. I was like, how do I do this?
It was great, dude. The delivery was great, man.
Spot on. I'll give myself that.
So I'm just getting, this says 2019. Would you back this driver? Average in 7 races, average finish is 3.4, 2 wins. He's led 232 laps, second most. Average starting position is 13th. Since 2019, his worst finish was 6th. Would you bet that driver?
Do you have a little grin on your face for a reason?
No, not at all.
I think I know exactly who this is.
All right, it's my boy.
The old man, Happy Harvick.
It's my uncle. He's your uncle. I'm talking Kevin Harvick. 17-1. Dude, like just looking at these stats that he's produced at this track, I kind of feel like you got to take him. I mean, worst finish 6th. Even if he's at top 5 price is plus 200. If you're worried about playing the win, fine, play the top 5. But I'm gonna play Harvick plus 1700. He's been looking great. He's been running great. He's really figured it out. Kind of getting a little bit of a second win in this long season. So I absolutely love Harvick at 17-1 here at Darlington.
I like that pick. You're also backing a guy where his window's closing. He could stop racing this year, next year. His son's getting older. His daughter's getting older. His son's about to get in some cars himself and out of the go-karts. He's going to want to be with him on race weekends. So it's getting to that point to where he has to go from a husband, father, provider to race car driver to a husband, a father, and a supporter of your child getting into these types of races. He's not going to want to miss those. He's not going to want his wife at a completely different track while his son's racing his first race. So I really feel his window's closing. And if he could go out with a championship, I think he'd ride off into the sunset.
That'd be G. If he won a championship and it's just like, I'm out.
Only if you rode a horse, though.
Uncle
Cat.
Cat.
You have to ride a horse out.
And then had a cowboy hat and just
cowboy hat, like the sunset, holding the trophy. Like that's
and then like just gives an Uncle Rico yell. I appreciate you backing me every week.
Yeah.
Who is your third bet?
Historically bad at this track. I just like the odds. He's a playoff driver. Austin Cindric at 66-1. It is not a bet that I'm truly backing. I told you I focus on playoff drivers for these wins because majority of the time you only see a playoff driver win these playoff races. And I like his odds, 66-1 for a playoff driver with a good number 2 Penske car. If he puts it together well, and he's another guy. He only won 1 race, not consistent at all season. So he's going to need those points to be able to get to the second round.
My last one is Logano, 10-1, 7 races, 1 win. Worst finish 18th. He's got the second best average draft finish position. Excuse me. I just kind of feel like, look, this is one of his better tracks. I just feel Logano's the guy now who's getting overlooked at every single track.
I agree. I hate to say that because I have a personal real life dislike of him from personal experiences in high school. So yeah, I don't like the guy. Never will. But if you're in this for money, the odds are good. He's been successful at this track, and you really can't bet against him in that aspect. But I will not be betting him for personal reasons.
I do have two questions for you. You've been on this Harrison Burton train since the beginning of the season. I'm just, excuse me, looking at him top 10. One race, he finished 14th at Darlington early in the season.
Mm-hmm.
But looking at his last 3 Xfinity races, last 4, he's got 3 top 10 finishes. I mean, Burton at 10-1 for a top 10. Any value in that?
Yes, absolutely. I'm still going to roll with him at 400-1 because I made you guys a promise that I'll bet on him every week, expecting that rookie to get a win. But 10-1 odds to get a top 10 where this track's been good to him, at least in the Xfinity car, and a 14th earlier this season at Darlington.
Mm-hmm.
Then 10-1 definitely for a top 10.
Now, Martin Truex. I'm looking at him right now. Average finish 11.7, 7 races, 1 win, 2 top 5s, 4 top 10s. Led the most laps out of anyone here. What should we expect from Truex at this track?
Another good race. I mean, if he didn't put Chase into the wall and wreck his own car a couple of races ago at Darlington, he would have won that race. So that's another reason I'm siding with Chase. He's done well here, and he's been dumped twice while going for the win. So I don't know. Truex has nothing to lose. He didn't make the playoffs, which is kind of disappointing. But
now, how do you feel about that? Because I mean, there's a lot of before it was announced that Blaney was in, there was a lot of people on Twitter complaining about how Blaney wasn't going to get in with how consistent he was, and Dylan's getting on a fluke. If Blaney didn't get in, would you have had any issue with it?
No, because we all know the playoff format going into every season. So let's take a step back. Let's go, Jesus, I don't know, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, whenever the playoff format started and Jimmy Johnson was winning championships, we'd be 8 races before the season's over and a champion was already crowned.
Mm-hmm.
So as a NASCAR fan, do you want to know who's already won the championship with 8 races left? Or do you rather have a crazy playoff platform to where you got to win to get in? So if you did not make the playoffs, sorry, you were consistent, but you didn't get a win. So it benefits with the stage racing, having to get a win, points, teammates. Like the racing this year has been the best racing I have seen in NASCAR since I can remember. So
it's been entertaining, man. It's been fun.
15 different wins or drivers winning. So
now, before I let you go, I need to ask you this.
Oh, here it comes.
I need to ask you this.
What sport?
What is your college football bet of the week? There's no Miami. I was going to ask you if Miami was going to cover whatever ludicrous spread they had, but there's no Miami bet.
What's the spread in the Ohio State Notre Dame game?
17.
That's high. I was going to say, I think Ohio State's going to beat the brakes off of Notre Dame easily. A small bet I like the money line at App State over North Carolina, who gave up 24 points to a team that was missing 20 of their starters.
All right, so your college bet, you like App State. Guys and girls, make sure you give Brandon a follow at BostonBoy83 on YouTube, on Twitter and on Instagram. Also, you're going to be starting up some iRacing again.
Yeah, iRacing, got on there a couple weeks ago, had a first and a third with me and my teammate. I finished third, pushed into the win at Daytona. Cashed in a little bit of money there, and the rig's up. It's ready to go, and might be on it tomorrow night, might not, but we're definitely going to pick the stream back up. So please, guys, give me a follow on Twitch and jump on there for some live racing. It's a lot of fun.
Looking forward to picking this back up. We are going to be talking NASCAR every week of the NASCAR season here on the podcast. Good luck in your bets.
Hey,
and
I want to hear it out right now. Over under Patriots wins. What is it? What do you got for the Pats?
I think they go over, dude. I think they win 9 games. Their over under is 8.5. I think they win 9. I think they finish second to the Bills.
Wild card?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think they win the wild card. I think they go to the wild card.
I just want to save that. Save this little.
I think they go to the wild card, dude. I think they go to the wild.
That's all. Hey, everybody, enjoy your long weekend. Happy Labor Day weekend. Enjoy Darlington Sunday night. Be safe. Be healthy. Have a lot of fun.
Man. Until next week, boys and girls.